The controversy started when the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo, said he was not aware of the investments made by his predecessor, Mr. Peter Obi, and further claimed that the investment was worth next to nothing.
And I'm making another reference to former Governor Peter Obi of Anambra State, who has talked about how much of investment is made with the resources of the Anambra State government to bring back profit and benefit to the Anambra people. By the way, what has become of that investment, and are you looking in that direction also? No, I'm just making reference because...
By the way, the one that you talk about, I don't know about that. I mean, I think there was something I read about, somebody speculated about the value of whatever investment. What I've seen today, the value of those investments is worth next to nothing.
Last week, the governor of Anambra State, Charles Soludo, said the value of investments made by the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, while he was the governor of the state, was worth next to nothing. After criticism by different individuals on this recent statement, the governor has stood by his words.
We attended events. We witnessed everything that happened. Even when that investment was made, we are aware of it. And we appreciated that, we applauded it. And even when that factory was established at Onitsha, the producers of Hero and other drinks, it was a welcome development. We also applauded that move. And the investment that he made in some other places, we are aware. Was Peter Obi actually having a mischievous or malicious intention by investing in Anambra State money? The answer is no. And for him to even encourage the foreign investor that, look, you are investing in a place that you will receive tremendous profit or dividend. Let the states become part of the investment. He finished his tenure how many years ago? A governor came up after him, and that governor would have nurtured investment. Or that governor would have told us what happened during that investment. So what the new governor Soludo would have done is to improve on that, and not to begin to lambast the investment that was made. Somebody made an investment. You are saying it's worth next to nothing. How much is the worth of the investment? How much is the current share value of the investment? Does that investment translate into creation of jobs in the state? That company that invested in that submiller that produces Hero, are they still in business? Did they create jobs for the Anambra, for Nigerians? Did they reduce poverty and other things? These are the burning issues that a reasonable person should interrogate, and not to tell us it was nothing. There was an investment, and that investment crystallized into an industry, crystallized into creation of jobs, crystallized into reducing poverty in the state, and crystallized into so many positive attributes.
The former governor, the current governor of Anambra State, where Peter Obi was governor, is the right person who will tell you what has happened during the period of Peter Obi. Today, I'm in a better position to tell you what and what, because I have the files in front of me. I have the numbers in front of me. So if you go back now to Anambra, look at what the governor of Anambra, they were in the same party. It's not that they changed party. It's Peter Obi that changed party, but it's the same Abga. So if you go and see what he is saying today about Peter Obi, you will not buy Peter Obi 10 kobo.
The investment in question is shown under Note 20 of the financial statement of Anambra State and stated as Interfact Beverages Limited with the cost of 1.95 billion naira, while the total cost of investment for the state is 25.5 billion naira. Records have it that Interfact Beverages Limited was founded in 1971 and based in Onitsha. The company was really not doing well. Fortunately, the then governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, who recognized the economic importance of the facility to the state, sought for investors to resuscitate the company to make it more productive. Sap Miller PLC, a top brewing company from South Africa, accepted to invest and bring up the company to world standard. To enable Anambra State government participate in the returns on the investment, the state, under Mr. Peter Obi, invested the sum of 1.95 billion naira for 10% equity in the company. That was how the investment in Sapmila/Interfact Beverages Limited came about. The newly transformed Interfact Beverages Limited was commissioned on August 30, 2012 under the Obi administration. 4 years later, in 2016, following the acquisition of Sapmila by Anheuser-Busch InBev, the world's largest brewer, Interfact Beverages Limited was merged to International Breweries plc. Under the scheme of measure, Anambra State government was issued with 407,321,264 units of shares in International Breweries plc. At this moment, I want to comment that the height of a private company is when it transforms into a PLC, when it transforms into a public liability company. That is the best thing that can happen to a company. That means the shares can objectively be valued. The shares can freely be traded on the stock exchange. The shares can freely be sold and profit on the investment realized or made. So that was the best thing, that was the height, that was the climax that this investment had gone to. It was the climax, the transformation of Interfact Beverages Limited from a private company to a public company by being subsumed into International Breweries, which is a public liability company. So in the course of this review, we will examine and see how the states, whether they benefited from that transformation or they did not benefit from it, whether the relevant action was taken to realize this investment. We will also examine the market value of that investment, as at the time it was merged with International Breweries, and then we will also evaluate the value of that investment from the day it was listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, being 14th of December 2017 to 2022, when the controversy arose regarding the investment. In this section, we will examine the value of investment from the day it was listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We have already seen that the total cost of investment was 1.95 billion naira, while the total number of units issued to Anambra State government was 407,321,264 units. The next thing we will find out is the cost per unit. What was the cost of one share? By dividing the total amount invested by the number of units issued to Anambra State government, you arrive at 4 naira 80 kobo. Then, as at that date, the amazing thing is that the market price of that share was 54 naira 84 kobo per share. People were ready to pay 54 naira 84 kobo for that 1 unit of share. That was the market price. It was trading on the floor as at that date at 54 naira 84 kobo. Wow. Profit per share as on the day of listing, you get that by subtracting the market price by the cost price. So if you say 54.84 minus 4.80, you arrive at 50 naira 4 kobo. So for every unit of share that was held by Anambra State government, a profit of 50 naira 4 kobo was realizable instantly on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. What was the return on investment? The return on investment is obtained by dividing the profit by the cost and multiplying it by 100. So you arrive at 1,042.5% return on investment. Wow. So the total value of this investment as on the day of listing, which is 14th of December 2017, was 22,337,497,953.24 naira. That total is achieved by multiplying the number of units by the market value. Then, if you subtract that by the cost of investment, which was 1.95 billion naira, you arrive at 20,381,962,606 naira 24 kobo. This was the total profit realizable. This was the profit on investment. 20.381 billion was the return on the investment of 1.95 billion. Wow. Notes: when you have invested and you have made a profit of over 1,000% return on investment, what are you waiting for? Is to sell the investment and realize your profit. But let's see what happened. Note 1. The above analysis revealed that the SAP Miller investment by Mr. Peter Obi was actually very profitable, with over 1,000% return on investment. This investment was golden. It is rare to see an investment that returns over 1,000% and is a solid investment. Mr. Peter Obi got it right here as an experienced businessman. This business venture was really worth it because it actually returned over 1,000% in terms of profits, over 1,000% return on investment. 2. By the time the stock was listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange in 2017, when Anambra State was supposed to have sold the above investment and realized the profit, Mr. Peter Obi was no longer governor. He had served out his 2 terms, he had done his best, he had handed over the investment together with every other thing in the state to an incoming governor, who was Mr. Willie Obiano. 3. It appears that the investment was not managed after Mr. Peter Obi left office. The stock largely traded above 54 naira 84 kobo till the end of May 2018, 6 months period. But it is surprising that the investment was not sold and the above profit realized.
What is important about leadership is, do we have a leader that is A, visionary, have the character, behavior to serve his people, are compassionate about the problems of society, above all, willingness to manage the resources of the state efficiently and effectively. That is what is lacking in Nigeria, management of our resources. International Breweries is what you can call a global company. It's a part of AB InBev, which is the biggest brewer in the whole world. We had a policy while I was governor that any factory, anybody who wants to, foreign investor who wants to invest in Anambra State, we will buy 10% of the company. The shares was at a time being sold at 50 naira. Today the shares is about 5 naira or so.
This research will not be complete without looking at the current value of investment. Today, the long years of neglect in the management of this investment after Mr. Peter Obi left office in 2014 has shown up. The share price of International Breweries has now fallen to 5 naira 5 kobo. down from the heights of 64 naira per share it traded in January 2018. And the profit on the investment is now barely 100 million naira, down from over 20 billion naira that was realizable in January 2018. Comments: who is to blame? Is it the person who initiated the golden investment, or successive governments after Mr. Peter Obi, who appear to have refused to manage the investment? Please share your comments. Thanks for watching my video. More interesting and educative videos await you. Click the subscribe button to be notified once I release a new video. Click the like button and share the video with friends. All the best from me, Alphonsus Ikonoh. Cheers.